Welcome back to Eliances Heroes, where heroes in business align. To be part of our super community and find out more about Eliances, visit www.Eliances.com. Now, back to our super host, David Kogan, founder of Eliances.
You believe just what an amazing day it's been. Again, we're touching on people who are heroes, all right? They make an impact in the community, make an impact in our lives. We had on today David Letourneau, that's right. He is the one leading the charge for having Eliances communities everywhere. Make sure you go to Eliances.com. We had the co-founder of Fired Pie, and we just had on the longest tenured NASA administrator. Make sure you go to Eliances.com, Eliances.com, the only place where entrepreneurs align. And by the way, thank you for the feedback we continue to have from having Frank Zane on, 3-time Mr. Olympia, Mr. Universe, and Mr. America. Well, the holidays can be a tough time for many of us, and it's all the different holidays, not just the major holidays, but it seems like many things. We have with us an expert in cutting through the crap and finding your greatness, really, your greatness. Kenny Weiss, who is the founder of The Greatest Movement, and you can reach him at thegreatestmovement.com. So, Kenny, how can we bring positive things into one's life, especially when we're bombarded with every day, everywhere we look, negativity?
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, with the election stuff just happening and all the discourse, it's pretty easy to get tied up into all of that. And, what it really takes for a lot of us is being able to shift the way we feel, not so much the way we think. And that's a lot of what we teach at the Greatness Movement, is how to, in any situation, be able to shift whatever you're going through so that you can feel more positive.
So let me understand too, is what are some of the things though that trigger these emotions with us that we kind of get into a rut or into a funk, I like to call it, where it's like, or the times that which happens to all of us, no matter what level, you know what, we just don't want to face the day, we don't want to get out of bed. How do we turn that around? Is there a magic pill?
Well, not really a magic pill. I mean, it starts with a choice. I mean, that's the first thing is, do you want that to change? And sometimes we don't. I mean, I've been in that place where sometimes, I mean, let's face it, when you're having a bad day, you get lots of attention. It can be kind of nice to stay there. But if you decide that pain is too much, that you don't want to be there anymore, that's really what the Greatness Movement is all about. It's all about the tools to get out of that.
In fact, let's talk about that. And again, you can reach Kenny by going to thegreatnessmovement.com. Again, thegreatnessmovement.com. And of course, we'll have it on our website at Eliances.com, Eliances.com. Why did you start the Greatness Movement?
Well, can I take a minute or two and tell you the story? Really, the Greatness Movement started about 5-7 years ago. I was married and I woke up in the middle of the night and screaming, crying, shaking. And my wife at the time was like, "What's going on? What's wrong? Are you okay?" And I couldn't put words to it, but I had a dream that was still to this day more real than me sitting with you. And I wasn't just on a stage, and it wasn't just a stadium, and it wasn't just a Martin Luther King type situation. It was bigger than that. And I was standing there telling people about my life story and creating a shift in society. Well, the difficulty was, at that time of my life, I had just gone back to drinking after over 20 years of sobriety. My now ex-wife was, at least to my knowledge, the highest paid escort in the country. We had an open marriage, swingers, all of that. I was living in all of that. And I'm like I can still feel my heart pounding of, wait a minute, I'm going to be up there telling people about this. There is no way I would ever, how could I ever justify helping people when I'm living like this? Well, as I found out, I mean, we talked a little bit before the show, what is everyone, why do we watch movies, sports, everything? It's, it's the hero's journey. We want to see them struggle and overcome it. And somewhere along there, they have a guide. And really that's what became of the greatness movement is, we all want to find our greatness, and we all need a guide for that. And my book is really the process, and the greatness movement is now the vehicle to, we all have a dark part of ourselves we just don't want people to know about. Yet that's where freedom is. And that's what happened to me is I realized, I was hurting, but it doesn't make me a bad person. It was the best I could do at the time. And so that's when you find that, you find your greatness.
What a story. What a story. And you're listening to me, David Kogan, host of the Eliances Hero Show. Make sure you go to Eliances.com. That's Eliances.com. It is the only place where entrepreneurs align. In fact, too, you may even have the opportunity to meet Kenny Weiss. He is the author of Your Journey to Success and the founder of the Greatness Movement. You can reach him at thegreatnessmovement.com, or, as a matter of fact, you may see him live in person at one of our many Eliances experiences, roundtable, grand tables, secret sessions, and so much more. In fact, too, you spoke at one of our secret sessions, and afterwards many people lined up to talk to you. Talk to us about the experience of what it was like for you to speak and present at Eliances, the community that you're part of.
Sure, yeah. First of all, I appreciate the opportunity to, communicate the message I want to share. It's always, whenever you go to one of the events at Eliances, the engagement's always high, the interest is always high, people are interested in learning more about you and how they can help you. And, is there a way, look at this. I'm here so that you can help me spread what it is I'm trying to do. And that's really the essence of it, and the same thing happened with the people afterwards of how can we take this to other people?
Tell us what it was like, because the book that you wrote, it's heavy duty to the fact is it really exposes a lot about people, I think, just in general and stuff. Yeah. How was it like, though, actually taking your inner emotions, your gut, everything you got, and putting it out there and putting it on paper for now the world to see, which is your journey to success?
Yeah, that's what I discovered. I just described, in a sense, my darkest point of my life, and yet I'm free of it. And if you think about it, what's our greatest fear in life? Our greatest fear in life is that people will know that part about us. And we don't even want to know it in ourselves. Well, when you become an expert in that, and like I say, when you learn to forgive yourself, they can't hurt you with it anymore. So I reconciled it inside of me. So any part of my life or any mistake I make, I'm okay. Well, you describe the stress and all that stuff. That's because people haven't reconciled it. They're still fighting that. And nobody's taught a real pathway out. I love Tony Robbins. There's so many great people out there, but they stop short of some of this stuff. And that was the void I saw, is nobody's been willing to talk about this part. And I was like, until we open this up, then we aren't helping people finish that journey. And that's why I chose to do all this.
What advice would you give to parents to help coach their children? Because really it starts right at such a young age. You probably know better than me is even at what age it starts, but we start having emotions almost like right from birth and stuff. Yeah. To help guide their children to, one, live a better life than they live, and to be able to be comfortable with who they are and really follow their journey to success.
Yeah. One of the biggest mistakes parents make is they make it about the kids. It's not about the kids. That's how they can avoid themselves. You go become an expert in your own imperfections and learning about being a parent and dealing with your stuff. Kids learn by modeling. They watch you. They very rarely listen to you. They watch your actions. If you make it a priority to grow as a person and deal with your own demons, and you can come to your kids and go, yesterday I was really upset. Now that I've learned this, I'd like to handle it this way. Well, I did that with my kids. They'd come back to me and they go, Dad, they'll repeat it. they will act. If you are willing, like I get calls all the time from parents, I got these kids struggling, and I'm like, are you willing to be a part of the process? Oh, well, no, it's my kids. Yeah, then we're not a fit. Because I know this, if your kids are acting out, they're just modeling what they're seeing at home. And if the parents don't want to be a part of the process, then so the answer is, if you want to be the best parent for your kids, go work on you. That's the best answer.
Well, phenomenal advice. Make sure you go and get Kenny Weiss's book, the author of Your Journey to Success. Kenny, you help so many people cut through the darkness and look for brighter days. That's a hero. Go to thegreatnessmovement.com. This is David Kogan with Eliances.
You have been listening to Eliances Heroes, where heroes in business align. Eliances is the destination for entrepreneurs, investors, CEOs, inventors, leaders, celebrities, and startups. To present your superpower, visit www.eliances.com.